Sunday gun day, baby. Over here shooting, starting to warm up a little bit. It's a little on the windier side. I'm kind of glad I have a mic with the wind muff on it. You know, if some people took notes, they're only 60 bucks. Make videos that much better, especially when you have thousands of people watching, but what do I know? Anyways, got my 511 shirt on. Time to go shooting. Let's do this. We got some new targets. Got a new holster. I actually got two. This one's a T-Rex Arms holster. This one's a Aegis holster, even though it's spelled A-G-I-S, which I would think is pronounced Aegis or Aggies, not Aegis, but what do I know? This one has a light bearing. This one's a quick ship from T-Rex. I'll show you guys the difference between the two. Do actually have my differences, do have my preferences, so I'll let you guys know which one I like best. Got one more little fun item. I was at the gun show, couldn't resist. I've been looking for this one in particular. They had a model or version that I just could not pass up. Got me a little P10C. This one in particular, suppressor barrel, suppressor sights, extended mag. Pretty sweet little setup, but so we'll see how that goes today. Got me a dope little setup here. Got some more targets. These are some silhouettes. That's another gong. Mini silhouettes. I'll show you guys those right now. So these are all 1/2" steel. These are rebounds. So you hit them, bounces down, hits that piece of leather, bounces right back up. Gong. This one here, it's a pretty dope little setup too. So you can use it for the gong, or you can put some paper targets on them. Either way is up to you. Then I got two of these. These are 1/2" as well. These are more meant for rifle, but basically what it is a half of a silhouette, like literally half the size. So they're proportioned downwards. So if you're shooting from, say, 100 yards away, it's like you're shooting at a 200 yards. Makes a pretty dope little setup. Also a rebound, so you can see it laid down. Pretty dope setup. Got my tier 1 concealed. This is a concealed carry holster. So this is inside the waistband. Has an aggressive claw, kind of like the Raptor claw, but it's a little bit more aggressive, so it presses against a little better. It's got an extra mag. So this is the first time I'm actually gonna be running it and gunning it. So you guys get to see that firsthand, how that looks. This is it on here. The one thing I like the best about this is how wide the clips are, which makes it pretty legit. So even if you have a big belt buckle, it's still gonna be actually, you know, having a space. So one thing with the Raptor, or I'm sorry, the sidecar, that's the biggest gripe that I have with it is that it isn't wide enough, so it makes it kind of fun when you're trying to put on a belt buckle that's kind of big and won't really clip on there right, or you have to adjust things kind of weird. But this is the setup here, presses really well against the belt. I don't have a legit belt or something hard. The shooting belt that I have is more just for the outside, and so it won't really work too well, so I'm just using a regular belt for this one. But even then, it still presses pretty good. I can imagine if I had a stronger belt, that this would press even better against my, against my stomach and stuff, so it won't show as much. So I'm gonna show you guys now with the gun, so you can see this, how well it actually conceals, which is what you're obviously going for if you're getting a CCW holster. Got the extra mag, got my gun, got my Inforce APLC, which is for the Glock, so it sits flush. Pretty dope little setup, so you can see. Mag goes in, gun goes in, everything's ready to go. I have my shirt tucked in just to make this a little easier for you to see, but now I'm actually gonna show you. So even with not that great of a belt, not that great of a setup, you can still see it conceals pretty well. Not like the Incog one that is ridiculous, that you could still see through my shirt even when I was trying. This one, I'm not even trying, it's not even pressed down. See, if you press it down even further, it tucks even better. So it's awesome and still easily accessible, which is what you want. Got the extra mag. Here's the butt of the handle. That is the one thing about the Gen 5 Glock. It will print just because it's flared, but you can deal with it. It is what it is. You'll be fine. It still tucks perfectly fine. So this holster is really good so far. So this is the Aegis holster, a little wider. This is with the mag. You can see the mag points straight up, but there's no click. There's no click whatsoever. It just kind of snugs into place. There's no click, no nothing. I feel like sometimes you can actually go a little bit further, so that's kind of weird. Same thing with the mag. There's no click, so you're doing it more retention style than anything else, but there's no click in place. And then you can see it when you get a close-up of it, that there's no outline of the actual bullet, so you can tell that this is just like an injection mold. So you just got to adjust your retention, call it a day. This is the T-Rex sidecar. This one's a pretty legit setup. Has an extra mag too. They have a Raptor, which is just the gun side. This one also has the Raptor claw, but it's not as aggressive, so it doesn't press as hard as what I felt like it kind of really didn't. It presses decently well, it's just not as much. The difference is though, that's a 2-piece, it kind of flexes around. Because this is a 1-piece, it makes it a little stiffer, so I feel like sometimes it prints a little bit harder, especially if you're a bigger guy. I'm not exactly skinny, so that's the kind of stuff I have to worry about. But this setup here though is legit. One thing you can definitely notice is the mag is pointed a little bit more outward compared to the Aegis holster. That's one thing I definitely noticed. The difference too as well, I think that one in particular is more of a print where it's already kind of a made mold. This one I could feel like they do individually with the actual molds that they have, you know, the blue ones where they make the actual prints of, not the actual guns, but it's a replica. So when you put this one in, it clicks into place, which I really like. So even if you don't have the holster really on a tight setup, you can feel it clicks into place, so it's not as bad. With the other one, it kind of just snugs in, and it feels like it's not the best mold. All of my T-Rex arm stuff was super legit. Everything clicks in, feels smooth. I can't have any complaints whatsoever. But I will definitely say that the Aegis holster so far feels a lot better. This was one of their quick ship holsters, which is black on the outside, blood red on the inside, and it's a pretty legit setup. So I'm gonna show you guys both of those today. I'll show you this one with in the pants so you guys can see how well it tucks, which doesn't do a bad job. It's just more of the moving around part. Because this is one of the quick ship holsters, it basically got to me in less than a week. I mean, it was pretty ridiculous. Their normal holsters that are custom are gonna take a couple more weeks. The Aegis holster took maybe 2-3 weeks. The lead time for the sidecars and stuff like that that are custom take 4 or 5 weeks. So I mean, it's kind of almost the same thing. What's an extra week? It's whatever. This is definitely one of those ones that is not light bearing. It's a quick ship holster, meaning you're supposed to get it right away. It does come with the mag, which points off to the side, and then you have just the Glock. And then the concealability, which is what you're looking for. Again, I feel like it's not as tucked to my body. Being a bigger guy, you kind of notice that stuff. I mean, I notice a lot more than I want to at that point, but it is what it is. But it still conceals really well. Again, with the Gen 5, that mag, the flared mag on the outside of it does point out a little bit more, so it makes it a little bit worse. But I mean, if you're a skinnier guy, sidecars work perfectly fine, and it clicks in place. That's the one thing I wish that holster did. But for the most part, it's pretty legit. Not really too bad. I mean, there's no real bulge. Pretty legit setup, and still easily accessible. So it works out. And it clicks into place. Awesome. That's the sidecar for you. But you can definitely see that the clips are actually a lot closer. Tucks against the body. He's a skinnier guy, so I'll show you the difference between the two. I feel like T-Rex Arms does a better job when it comes to actual, I guess, craftsmanship. It clicks into place. It feels a lot better. Everything about it just seems like it's molded better. So I'm wearing the Aegis holster, he's wearing the sidecar. I'm actually gonna show you guys real fast how it clicks into place. So I'm wondering if it's gonna come up on video, because it is a little on the windier side, but it goes into place and it wants to keep sliding in. It doesn't really like stop. It just kind of wants to keep going. Like, I can keep going further and further. It doesn't want to just click into place or anything. That's that one. And then you can hear it click. It snaps into place. Just so you know, we're using a gun that's not loaded for all you crazy people that want to, oh my god, it's loaded! So just so you know, it's empty, nothing's in the chamber, nothing, okay? Just so you know. Gun safety first, finger off trigger. This is safety number 1. Anyways, so that way you can see gun snaps into place. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the mag. Clicks right into place. Maybe not as much of a click, but definitely locks into place. So, same thing with this one. It just wants to slide and then eventually stops. There's no, it's all based off retention. It moves around, no clickage. So that's the one thing I will say. Craftsmanship's a little bit better. This is the T-Rex Arms holster. A lot of it looks a little bit more defined, like the molding itself is a little bit better. They're both mid-guard. They're both a little different concepts. They both have claws, which the Incog did not. The biggest thing that I hated about it. But for the most part though, it just seems like something about the sidecar, everything was designed better. You can see that they actually molded it with the bullet involved, not just a regular mold. So it actually clicks into place. So you can kind of almost see it. I know the clip's in the way, but you can see where the mold is for the actual bullet. So they did a little bit more designing and it clicks into place. I mean, you can hear it. Clicks right in there. The Aegis holster, you can see on the bottom of it, right here is just a regular mold. I mean, it doesn't have like the bullet shape. If you really look at the sidecar, it has more of a bullet shape, which is why it clicks into place. As you can see, there's no snap. It just wants to stop. It just stops, and honestly, that's more craftsmanship than anything else. But I will say, this bendingness to it, the fact that it moves around, that definitely helps with contouring to the body. I'm gonna do a quick little run. I don't have a timer or anything. I'm just gonna go on me. I'm still not very comfortable with this. There is one in the chamber. I'm gonna shoot just 2 rounds, tuck it back. 2 rounds, tuck it back, and on the last one it's gonna be empty. I'm gonna do a reload. This is why we're practicing, right? I've never really ran a CCW holster. Being from California, it's physically impossible. Now that I'm in Arizona, it makes more sense. So let's try that again. Still got my little tape modification since I always lock back my slide with my hand. So I'm gonna shoot, click, click, it's gonna go empty. I'm gonna rack it, put a new one in. I'm gonna basically do a dry run. So it's gonna be an empty mag, got one in the chamber, and I'm gonna reload, shoot again. Not bad, not bad. We're gonna try this one more time, as fast as I can, as safely as I can. Oh, I gotta do the Glock thing. Every time.
Set, go.
I guess the only thing about having tape on there is it locked the slide back, and then I guess with its own tape power, it racked itself forward. So that was kind of weird, but you got to see it all on video, which is why we train, right? Tyler's gonna show you guys how it's done with the sidecar holster. He's never ever done this before, so this shows you the versatility of something, a simple concept, simple instructions, and he knows kind of how to shoot. What he's gonna end up doing is grabbing cloth, pulling up, grabbing the gun, going slow, because make sure, you know, the first time you ever do this, you want to do this safely. So finger's gonna be off the trigger, gonna grab the gun, pull out, come on target, finger on the trigger, pull. He's gonna hold the gun out in a very safe manner, grab cloth, pull up, grab the second mag, reload. So it's gonna be super slow, but I want him to do this safely because I don't want to catch him shooting himself. Last thing I need. This is why we do it. Damn, that thing shoots flat. Damn you, Glock. First time shooting my little baby here. Tyler already shot it. I let him get the honors. I'm okay like that. You know, de-virginizing it or whatever, I don't really care. So it is extended mag, so it's got a couple extra rounds. It's got the suppressor sight, so it sits a little taller. It's gonna be my first time shooting it. I don't have a holster for it, but I'm gonna do the mag reload from the CCW holster, so we'll see how that goes. What I'm gonna do is use an empty mag. So it's gonna lock back the slide. Got one in the chamber, got my reload ready to go. See how this goes. I'm not really trying to do it like a CCW setup because I don't have a legit setup for this yet. This might be my fun time gun, so I'm just gonna do it like this.
Set, go.
I like this gun, actually. I can see what everyone's talking about. I might have to make this my CCW gun. I will say though, that slide lock, slide release, whatever you want to call it, is hella hard to let go. If the mag's full, it is really difficult. I can see what Vickers Tactical is talking about. It's not impossible, but it's definitely a lot harder. Once it's locked back, it is definitely a lot easier to drop, so it is what it is. I like this gun though, it feels really good. That nice. Time for some P10C action. These got suppressor sights on it, so it might be a little bit harder. I'm gonna shoot closer, so we'll see how that goes. The difference in height and all that bore axis and all that fun stuff, whatever. I just want to shoot the gun. Let's see how it goes. Oh, this is gonna be fun. These are harder to hit than you might think. I might have to make this into my CCW gun, I don't know. Kind of like this thing. I can see why everybody was talking about this. It's got front serrations, an orange follower, which is so new for the Glock. This thing's actually pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. And it definitely feels a lot skinnier. It does come with other back straps, way more aggressive for sure. It's kind of hard to see, but the actual aggressiveness here, it actually curves upward. So they're cutting an angle that makes you want to grip downward, but if your hand was to slide up, it doesn't grip it at all. But if it comes down, it wants to grab. Man, kind of glad I got this. So here's a fun little fact about the P10C, which is pretty legit. I think the VP9 also does this. My cousin had a VP9, it's a pretty sick little feature. I will say it is really, really hard to drop that slide sometimes. But there's a fun little fact with the P10C. Kind of some controversy. They say that you don't always want to do this. You kind of want to, you know, let your finger do the work, because this might not work in a situation where you don't slam it hard enough and all that fun stuff. But if you have a full mag, lock back slide, finger's not going to be on it, and it racks it for you. So now there's one in the chamber, and it's a pretty cool little feature. But dope little gun. So I'd say today was a good day. They did pretty good. You can see the rounds on them. Doesn't look like they have as much damage as when you're shooting with the rifle, because they're not flying as fast, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So here's the half-size target next to the full silhouette, so you can get a good idea. They did pretty good today. Here's the gong, mini silhouette, bada bing, bada boom. Hit up your local iron worker slash silhouette maker slash, you know the routine. Does look like I kind of hit that one in the back though. Held up good.